Boys, what's crackin'? It's your boy D, and this is DeezCards. Today, we're going to be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh from scratch, aka Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh. As we speak, I'm working on editing the next episode of the Sealed Only series that's going up on my YouTube channel, and wanted to do a little bit of introspection and maybe share a little bit of advice with the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I've been working on the Sealed Only challenge with my friend Kyle for about the last year. It's called Sealed Only Sparring, and it's a series about me and my boy working our way up to playing at an OTS Locals for the first time, because we both started playing during the pandemic and never really had the opportunity to do that before. If you're coming across this video because you're a Yu-Gi-Oh content creator or an aspiring YouTube content creator, and you think that a Sealed Only challenge sounds really fun, stick around for the whole video. I got a lot of insight, having been working on one of these for about a year now. If you've never heard of Yu-Gi-Oh from scratch or Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh and you want to know what that is, well, it's actually just the concept of building a deck using only cards that you pull from packs that you would buy at the store or online or whatever. This type of series was made popular by creators Nim and then further popularized by DeezCards by doing Yu-Gi-Oh from scratch. You can see a lot of love in their comments, and their channels grew a lot just from doing those series alone. So a lot of content creators of smaller channels obviously hopped onto that idea, myself included. That was kind of towards the earlier point of Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh. But since then, probably almost every single YouTube content creator, big and small, has tried it to some capacity. Now that I've explained what Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh is, the big question: should you give it a shot yourself? Well, the first point that I want to make, if you want to build a deck using cards just from packs, yeah, go for it. If you're not going to film it and document it, the only thing you're getting is brownie points from yourself or the people that you're going to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh with. That being said, it's pretty much only a concept that's applicable for a YouTube content creator. So if you're not really planning on taking the time to film and edit the process and your journey, I don't really recommend doing this, because it's a lot of time and effort for something that you're really only going to be able to share with yourself unless you put it on the internet. Another thing to note on that point is my channel only has 1,000 subscribers. This challenge has been done by YouTube content creators big and small for like 2 years, 3 years now. I think Nim did his challenge in 2019. So you have a pretty saturated market of this YouTube series, and I think a lot of people might say that it's been said and done by now. I'm not saying that that is reason enough to stop. Obviously, I'm still doing it, but I just want to make you aware that if this is your first time hearing of this type of challenge idea, it's been done quite a few times before. You're going to need to find a creative spin to make yourself really stand out and get people to watch your video. The idea that I took, at least, was, oh, it's me and my buddy. Neither of us have been to locals before. We really like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and we're watching a lot of YouTube content throughout the pandemic, so let's give this a shot. Let's, try a Sealed Only challenge on our own, and people will want to watch it because we're two really good friends and we have a good chemistry, and we're both beginners, and people are gonna help us out in the comments and stuff like that. So that was kind of the angle that I took, that I thought people would want to watch the series that I was working on, and it seemed to work. I mean, I went from having 200 subscribers all the way up into 1,000 subscribers over the last year, and this has been pretty much the only content I make that gets a significant amount of views compared to other videos I put out, like deck profiles or pack openings or whatever. So once you've come up with an idea for a Sealed Only challenge and you've decided how you're going to help yourself stand out, there's another avenue that you come across. Are you going to be doing this with physical cards from packs, or are you going to be using an online pack simulator? I mean, there's significant pros and cons to both of those avenues. If you're doing it with physical cards, you're going to be spending a lot of money on physical cards, like no joke. Yu-Gi-Oh is already an expensive game. If you want to build a deck from singles that you bought online, that's one thing. But if you're only pulling cards that you need from randomized packs, you're going to be in for quite a bit of expense. I would say that Kyle and I individually have spent somewhere from a few $100s to probably even close to $1,000 in the last year trying to build our Sealed Only decks. What do you have to show for it? I have an Earth Machine deck that's mostly complete. I'm only missing the Anger Knuckle and the Ancient Gear combo, and that's really it. I have the whole deck otherwise. Kyle tried to build Dragon Link, and he's missing quite a few important cards from his strategy, and so we don't really know how we're going to perform when we go film the finale of our series at the end of the week. So with the money aspect in mind on physical cards, you really got to try to outweigh your goals on YouTube versus how much money you're willing to spend. If you think that you're going to be spending a few $100 up to $1,000 in a year, and your channel might only grow X amount, you gotta outweigh it. Maybe you just really want to do it, and that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to discourage you from trying this. I just want to give you the harsh reality that it is very expensive. Then the other way that you can go about it is doing an online pack simulator. The thing with that is there's a lot less risk involved. I mean, you can set the budget to whatever you want, as many packs as you want. Maybe it's one box or whatever an episode. It might be harder to get viewers when you're not actually risking the ability to financially recover from a YouTube series. It just might be harder to get people to watch your stuff. You're going to really need to think outside the box with your idea A good example is TCG Wolf. I'll put a screenshot of his channel here. He does a lot of cool animations. He comes with cool ideas on how he can get certain products and when. He comes up with an entire lore and story behind his series. That's a really good example of a sealed only challenge that can do well without actually opening physical cards. So I recommend you check that out if that's the avenue you're thinking of taking. So if you're still with me and you're still thinking that you might want to do a sealed only challenge, let's talk about the benefits of actually going through with it. It is a really good way to level up your content if you're a beginner YouTube content creator. I mean, these are the most editing intensive videos I have ever tried in my entire life. I mean, some episodes take like 10 hours, 15 hours. I gotta go through, find the memes, the B-roll, sync up the audio for a whole bunch of footage, edit like 2 hours of raw footage. I mean, it paid off in the end. I wasn't getting any views on my pack opening videos. I was still only able to put those out like once a week. And then when I put out a YouTube video once every 2 weeks, for sealed only, and I got way more views. It felt like a way more rewarding experience. I feel like my skills as a content creator have increased dramatically from going through the process of a sealed only challenge. And even if my content as of right now isn't at top tier yet, it's given me a much better understanding of what top tier content actually is and what it takes. And then at the end of the day, for my specific series, I got to spend a lot of time with one of my best friends. We got better at the game together. We're about to go get our butts kicked at locals for the very first time, and it's been a very fun experience overall. I would never go back and undo anything that we've done on the sealed only challenge, and I'm really happy that I did it. So I hope all of this leads you in the right direction if you've been thinking about it, if it's been on your mind. It might be better just to come up with something original and try that, but if you just want to get into content creating for the sake of making your very first video, this is a tried and true formula that just takes a lot of effort. And so if you want to go and do the effort, I give it my 2 thumbs up. Give it a shot and let me know what you think down in the comments, boys. This channel is all about content for the boys, regardless of gender. Say what's up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe so you know when my sealed only challenge is dropping, and I'll catch you boys next time. Got 'em.